Sunflower is one of the most important plants in your arsenal in every Plants vs. Zombies game. Without a reliable sun producer, how could you possibly build your army? She may become obsolete once you unlock a better version of her, but if you're like me, you never stop loving the OG. But that got me thinking. I love the most basic form of Sunflower with all my heart, but there's probably more versions of her out there, right? And just how many are there? The initial list of sunflowers I found was actually pretty small. It was looking like it might be a really short video. But this little puppy did some digging, and oh boy did I find some treasures. I hope you're just as excited as I am to discover and rank every sunflower to ever exist. I know happy sunflowers at least. As per usual, they need to be official. They can't just be a sunflower wearing a costume, and we're not counting promotional or concept art, no matter how fun they are. But there are some small bonus sunflowers I've decided to include this time around, so I hope you appreciate the extra effort. You can, maybe like the video for me? Thank you! That means our list for today includes the sunflower, 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 and of course, the one, the only, sunflower. Please, I am begging you, do not take a shot every time I say the word sunflower. I promise your liver will not survive the video. Without further ado, let's find out what is the best sunflower and which one should get hit by the baseball bat of Joe Mauer. In the first game more than any other, you need the sunflower. It is your first and only sun producer for the adventure mode, and unless you plan on bringing in the coffee bean, you'll continue to need her throughout the game. Since you only earn 25 sun per drop in this game, technically she's weaker than her appearance in the second game, but it really just evens out. I've always said the way Sunflower looks in the first game is my favorite version of her. Not only does she look perfect, but she's iconic. I use her way more than any other plant in the first game, and I'm willing to start our list with an A tier. You might think the twin sunflower is just definitively better than the original, and in some ways that's true, but I mostly disagree. The twin sunflower aptly makes double the sun, which is great until you realize it costs as much as 6 sunflowers! 150 sun to make a little more sun, huh? Now, I understand its purpose, and that is in the survival mode. You place some twin sunflowers, save some space on the lawn, and keep them forever. But in any other mode, this thing is pointless, I feel. I can't think of a time I needed more sun, yet had enough sun to place a twin sunflower. And its design is so boring compared to the other upgrade plants. Every other one is a unique take on an existing plant, but this one is just 2 sunflowers conjoined at the stem. Great! I'm not putting them too low, but I will say C. Something I really loved about ranking every Peashooter was that there were so many variants alongside the original that returned again and again. Other than the twin sunflower, she's going to be pretty lonely on our list. So to make my life more difficult and this video a little longer, please welcome the Marigold to our roster. Now yes, I know Marigold is pretty clearly not a variant of a sunflower, but in real life it is. Marigolds are a type of sunflower, believe it or not. I realize saying that probably means there are other plants in PvZ history that are also technically sunflowers IRL, but whatever. I know daisies are sometimes considered to be in the same family as sunflowers, which really scared me when I saw that researching, but they fall under a different genus, unlike the marigold. Besides, Marigold's ability definitely emulates a sunflower. Rather than spitting out sun every once in a while, the Marigold gives you money. In terms of helping you win the level, well, it can. If you need upgrades or Zengarden soil, then this will speed up the process for sure. When I was replaying the adventure mode and still unlocking the upgrade plants, the Marigold was my best friend. Look, I do love the rainbow of marigolds you can have in your Zengarden. I do appreciate the help in farming coins, but if I have to compare this to every other sunflower, well, it doesn't compare. D tier. Can't wait for the comments telling me I forgot the rainbow of marigolds, by the way. Our next sunflower, I did not know exists and could have went my whole life without seeing, so now you are just as cursed as I am. Some people have said the sunflower zombie appears when you beat the game. I know it's an Xbox achievement image, and if you look closely at this guy's clown house, you can see it proudly presented front and center. Sunflower zombie is one of the most cursed plants in the first game. But you gotta love it. S tier. Apparently an unused minigame called Big Time would have added a big sunflower and big marigold, and wouldn't you know it, they look exactly the same, but bigger. They do produce 50 sun and an extra coin respectively, so technically they are better, huh? Fine, enjoy a bigger sunflower and bigger marigold exactly one tier above their predecessors. This derpy looking sunflower has appeared enough time between Pinball, Petal, and the first game's loading screen for me to warrant its inclusion. Plus, how could I not? Look at her face. I'm putting her in A tier too. People begged me to rank the sunflower, who is the proud singer of Zombies on Your Lawn, and honestly, I'm happy to. I have to assume this is a different sunflower, considering my typical sunflowers have never burst in a song before. She's such an amazing singer, the zombies around her refuse to eat her. They just break it down like anyone naturally would. She's the best. You all know I have to give her S. And before we forget, the DS sprites must be added too. My opinion still does not change because they are more pixelated, but I must say I do like how they turned out quite a bit. I'll happily let them join our list. We got a superpowered sunflower in Journey to the West, known as the Monk Flower. She's actually based on the central character from that story, so I'm assuming she's gotta be important. She's mostly a better sunflower, still producing sun, but with the ability to make sun rain from the sky, even at night. She doesn't have the ability to kill zombies too, but can stun them, which is the most aggressive sunflower I've ever gotten, honestly. Also, it appeared in the comics, I guess. I'm not ranking both versions, okay? Grow up! It's clearly very powerful, and as a sunflower god, it probably deserves an S tier. Instead of skipping to PvZ 2, let's go to Adventures next, since it is the next game in the series. I'm slowly realizing I like the sunflower too much. They all look so perfect to me. How can you not adore this version of the character? It acts exactly the same as the original sunflower does, so I say we just give her a B tier. This game features our first real variant of the sunflower, the Power Flower. She will look completely different every time we see her, starting out with this very hippie looking fashion style. I think that's where the name comes from. Flower power is the type of phrase you see on a tie-dye shirt with a massive peace symbol on it. She is the VIP version of the sunflower, meaning she makes 3 times as much sun, but costs a lot of in-game currency to own, meaning players probably had to buy her. Still, I feel like she's a pretty obvious A tier. This rainbow sunflower seems to be an early version of the Power Flower, as seen by her peace symbol necklace she has. I like both ideas, but I definitely appreciate some cosmetics being given to the Power Flower in the end. I would love to have gotten a separate rainbow flower plant with a unique ability, but sadly that never came to be. I'm thinking C tier for this one. Did you know Twin Sunflower was the last obtainable plant in PvZ Adventures before it shut down? What an honor, and also what a weird plant to end on. Rather than costing 6 times as much as a regular sunflower, it actually costs the same amount, basically meaning you can say bye-bye to the old and end with a new. That's kinda OP, but never really mattered because the game didn't exist long enough to make a difference. Still, credit where credit's due, B tier. Now we can finally move on to Plants vs. Zombies 2, which actually has as many new characters as Adventures did. Sunflower isn't really known for variants, and only received 1 new version in this game. But we'll get there when we get there. First up is our classic girl. Now she spits out 50 sun per drop, as everything is just a little more expensive. Unlike the first game though, PvZ 2 has plenty of other sun producers, and while she may be important to you in the first world or two, you'll pretty quickly replace her and never look back. I do not ever bring in the original sunflower. Why would I? Most rounds I can bring in the gold bloom and I don't even need a sun producer. But I do think she looks pretty nice in the updated style. I really like the pattern they gave her face. And she has sun food now, making a pile of sun when used. So I think that evens her out to another B tier. They give you the twin sunflower immediately in this game, and also made them way better. You don't need a sunflower to place them, and they only cost 125 sun. 100 sun in return is worth that extra 25, I'd say. It is hard to bring it in on its own though, because waiting to get 150 sun without any other plants is going to take a while. It makes them a little hard to recommend because you won't be able to earn sun for a bit. It makes me realize that having to upgrade the sunflower to make a twin sunflower was sort of a blessing in disguise. But still, I like them here. You know what that means. B tier, baby! Clearly my favorite tier at the moment. Let's get out of B tier and move right to S tier with the Primal Sunflower. She is my go-to sun producer, and I think it's easy to see why. You start out with the exact amount of sun needed to place one, and after a single drop, you're ready to plant some defenses. Teaming her up with a Primal potato mine is a match made in heaven, I feel. Plus, look at her! The massive underbite never fails to make me smile. There's a few good sun producers in the game, so it says a lot that she's my favorite. As I said before, gotta be S tier. Now, Marigold was lucky enough to return, but relegated to the Zen Garden only. I have not watered my Zen Garden in months, and even if I did, I wouldn't really be that excited to see a Marigold appear. The Zen Garden lets you boost your plants, an infinitely more important ability than claiming a few coins from the Marigold. She always looked a little strange in the first game, and I do like her updated look, but still, that's an F tier. Apparently, the little loading icon is also a Marigold, because of course it is. I've seen this damn thing spin so many times, if I never saw it again, it'd be too soon. We've seen this thing in a couple games now, so congrats Marigold. The original and the 3D one can both go in F tier. I had never seen this before, and I'm willing to bet most of you haven't either. For just a few seconds in the trailer for the Wild West update for PvZ 2, they gave us a look at an elderly sunflower! That 1,000-yard stare is truly haunting. The face is just so detailed, it reminds me of a SpongeBob close-up. I do feel bad for her though, she's just living her life. A pity D tier it is. If you want to play as a sunflower who sings zombies on your lawn, well, you should move to China. The Sunflower Singer is a unique character in the Chinese version of PvZ 2. She's truly an inspiration, and I mean that literally. Not only does she produce 100 sun at a time, but she boosts the surrounding plant's attack power and cooldown period. Kinda like a moonflower without the Shadow Family aspect, actually. I love her little shades too, and it's fun to have a different shape for her petals. Every sunflower so far has looked nearly identical, so I just have to appreciate that. To put the cherry on top, her plant food causes plants to dance and creates a heart-shaped pile of sun. Is it just me, or is it the greatest sunflower ever? She's won me over. That's an S tier. Let's move to our PvZ 2 Chinese spin-off section, starting with PvZ All-Stars. If you need a refresher, it's the game with Pokemon evolution-like lines of characters. So the Peashooter becomes the Repeater and then the Three-Peater, stuff like that. Of course, the Sunflower received her own line, consisting of the regular Sunflower and Twin Sunflower as one would expect. But if we're following that progression for a third plant, then that means the Triplet Sunflower is real? Honestly, it's a little crazy this hasn't existed in any other game. It kind of makes perfect sense. Something must be dumb in my brain because I find the Twin Sunflower boring, but the second they add a third head, I go crazy! It's really not all that special, but I like it, okay? You don't really produce sun in this game, but they are a great healer. I'm just gonna put them in A. I think they're really fun. Marigold got a similar evolution line, but wait, there's no twin Marigold, right? They went a completely unique route for her, and I'll let you decide if that was a good idea or not. They actually called this the Chrysanthemum line, not Marigold line, because the third evolution of this is the Gold Chrysanthemum. At first I thought the mouth was kind of weird, it reminded me of a coin slot. And then it hit me! It probably is a coin slot, duh! That's Marigold's whole shtick! I think it looks nice. A tier for you too. So yeah, Marigold is the middle evolution, and this is the third one. I guess we'll move on now. Anyway, you want to see the first evolution? Fine, look at this fan-made looking crap. See if I care. I was just trying to protect you. It's not even bad enough to be funny or interesting. It's just bad. The most boring thing you can be. F tier. This game called PvZ 2 Guard caused a huge problem on our Peashooter tier list. Remember how many Peashooters they made for this thing? Yet somehow not even the Twin Sunflower made it. You make new plants by combining others in this game, but combining two sunflowers somehow makes a Peashooter. Makes sense. Other than this sunflower looking really bad, it actually shoots suns at zombies, which is pretty nuts. I believe this is the first instance of a sunflower actually dealing damage to zombies, but it is quite literally the weakest plant in the game. What more do you need to hear? F tier. Also, no matter which way you flip this thing, it always looks left. What kind of witchcraft is this? There's this poor crying sunflower in the app icon for PvZ 2 Garden. Leave her alone, you mean zombie. This guy's about to go to town. He's sticking his dang pinky out and everything. I feel so bad for her, but also, she looks really strange. You're on your own, buddy. F tier. I don't think I'm going to rank these three sunflowers, mostly because these are the best images I can find of them, but they come from a game called Plants vs. Zombies Tang Ping. My PvZ games ranking video gets more and more outdated by the minute. we have a Silver Fence, Lady, and Antler Sunflower in the game, each just the PvZ2 sprite with a different costume on. The Lady one is nice, but realistically they wouldn't have been ranked very highly anyway, so not much of a loss there. A game I did remember to rank in my PvZ Games video was Magic Book, with the AR Sunflower being an awesome addition. You really can't ask for a better 3D Sunflower. The newest one we've got looks worse than this. B tier. Now that we know P-Girl exists, I'm sure you're all frothing at the mouth to see just what we have in store for Sunflower Girl. I won't goon you any longer, here she is. Okay, that was literally a child, you all need to quit gooning right now. Other than the obvious reasons people like P-Girl, it's fun that she's holding a pea-shooter shaped gun. Sunflower Girl's just got it sitting there, which I guess is all the normal Sunflower does too, but you know what I mean. The theme skirt and hairpin she has is great, but taking a look at some of the other evolved plants in the game, like Walnut-chan, you gotta admit that's a C tier. In most videos covering Plants vs Zombies, it seems like no one ever acknowledges the comics. Now, to be fair, I won't be reading the comics and going too in-depth with the sunflowers here, but people really want me to cover them, so I will. Apparently there's canonically only one male sunflower in PvZ history, and that is none other than Fred the Sunflower from the comics. Without having full access to the comics he's in, I really can't tell what he's like, but most of the stuff I found he's kind of just hanging around, not making much of a difference to the narrative in any way. This image is the best I could find of Fred, and he looks good. I just don't really find him interesting outside of being a male sunflower, I guess. C tier. The flower bot seems much more important, it's even in the name of the comic. But it is just a robot, this thing ain't even real, and it was created by Dr. Zomboss. By the end of the comic, it appears to develop emotions and feel bad for the other abused inventions made by Zomboss. See, this is why I can't be bothered reading comics, people. It's got an alright design, not too exciting to me. D tier. I also saw 2 comments saying there was a sunflower with a pink bow named Flora and a giant prehistoric sunflower in the comics, but the comments are gone and I couldn't really find these characters, so who knows if they actually exist or not. There is a comic called Dream a Little Scheme with a sunflower wearing a bow, but I never saw her name mentioned in any photos. She's pretty adorable, another B tier I suppose. Let's move to a few crossovers in other games featuring Sunflower, like The Sims. I really liked how the simplified 3D model of the pea shooter looked, but the Sunflower? Not so much. This looks like a Roblox model, dude, and that is not a compliment. F tier. The World of Warcraft Sunflower is so funny looking to me. She actually sings and dances too. They really put a lot into this thing. Listen.
There's a zombie on your lawn.
That's right, the composer of the first PvZ game and the voice actor for the Zombies on Your Lawn song is the World of Warcraft Sunflower. Incredible! We put every other singing Sunflower in S, so why not? And of course, we can't forget their Little Big Planet crossover. Sunflower gets the honor of being a dog? I don't really know much about this game, but I assume they wouldn't give Sunflower 4 legs and have her tongue stick out for the fun of it. Kinda weird, kinda funny, A tier. Sunflower merch is sadly much less exciting than the pea shooter was. I'd love to show you a sunflower gun, trust me, but at least we have another hilarious Halloween costume. Why did they always do this pose? Put the pea shooter and sunflower together and it looked like they've been standing together this whole time. The face actually isn't half bad, although I have no clue how the person wearing is supposed to see anything, but the classic green onesie is what makes it so funny to me. Maybe not as funny as this sunflower costume, or this one, but I gotta give it S tier. I thought the pea shooter Funko Pop deserved F tier, but don't even get me started on the sunflower. Who would unironically display this on their shelf? How did they screw up such a simple design? I think their unwavering necessity to give characters massive foreheads and bulbous round eyes made every aspect surrounding them look worse and worse. All the PvZ Funko Pops look bad, but Sunflower is by far the worst. F tier. I feel the complete opposite about our plushie though. Both her and the squash look absolutely perfect in my mind. There are so many fan-made off-model sunflower plushes that are fun to look at, including ones for the twin sunflower and marigold, but I don't think any come close to looking as good as the official one. Yet another S tier. And back to the Connects figures. I really can't hate on the regular sunflower too much, it's fine. C tier. But of course they couldn't quit there. Why is the Garden Warfare one suddenly making the
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
face at me? They could have just used the head of the normal one and it would have looked 10 times better. F tier. And don't even get me started on the Power Flower variant. You don't want me to make a 10-hour video yelling at this stupid toy. F tier. If you bought this special edition of the first game, they gave you a little sunflower figure to go with it. So Plants vs. Zombies Limited Sunflower Edition is technically a unique game for all you die-hard PvZ fans out there. And Plants vs. Zombies Limited Yeti Edition and Disco Zombie Edition. Jeez, how many of these things are there? What a cool marketing tactic. D tier. I want an official PvZ coin purse to hold coins in and carry around with me in public. Who doesn't want a decapitated sunflower with you at all times? B tier. I want an official PvZ sunflower phone holder to hold my phone for me in public. Who wouldn't want a sunflower with a big loop to put your phone in? D tier. I want an official PvZ sunflower hat to wear at all times in public. Who shouldn't look like this all day? A tier. And my favorite sunflower merch comes in the form of the biting Primal sunflower with super biting action feature included. What is the purpose of a toy that can bite you? Is it like a kink thing? Well, Primal Sunflower's underbite has truly never been more pronounced than it is here, and you gotta love it. S tier. That concludes our merch section. Now let's get back to the real deal, shall we? The Garden Warfare games are definitely going to be the largest section of this video. Thanks to all her variants, spawnables, bosses, and cool cameos, it's really a love letter to Sunflower unlike any other game in the series. Before now, we've seen how few variants they've given to Sunflower, and it's not fair. Finally, this series allowed us to get some awesome looking sunflowers. As I said in the past, I really only have experience with the first Garden Warfare game, so please go easy on me for the ones in the sequel. And feel free to criticize my takes on the first ones as much as you like. We start with the classic, who just looks so incredible in this game. For the most part, Sunflower has only gotten better in each new art style, and they succeeded here once more. She's your healer on the team, so not only do we need to keep in mind her attack power, but how good she is at support. With her ability, she can also place heal flowers and fire a burning beam of sun at her enemies. I really love how they've handled Sunflower here, but is the original Sunflower the best of her class? I really don't think so, and I imagine most of you will agree. Not bad, not hard to play, just very middle of the road. I'm giving her B tier. I feel the same way about the Mystic Flower. I'm not a big fan of the plants with charge shots, as we saw in the PvZ list already. It's just not my playstyle, and I can only imagine how awesome she would be for someone who knows how to play her. I also just think this is the least interesting looking variant she has too. I probably won't give any of them an F tier, but I gotta give her D. Remember the Power Flower from Adventures? Well, this is her now. Feel old yet? I kinda assume they just like the name Power Flower at this point, as this is clearly taking zero inspiration from the first one. I kinda wish they did, honestly. A hippie sunflower would be a bit more interesting than a glowing blue and white one. But the name was most likely chosen because this character is her electric variant. She has less ammo but an electric effect, best for groups of zombies. I assume she's great in Garden Ops mode, attacking swarms of zombies. But that doesn't make her bad on one-on-one situations either. In the end, it's a pretty similar case to being an all-rounder like our first Sunflower, but as I like this one a little less, she gets a C tier. They're lucky Nintendo wasn't willing to sue them for the Fire Flower. Honestly, it feels like they went pretty tame for this one. I wish her whole head was just on fire, a big ball of flame would look awesome. She's just sort of orange and glowy. And I don't think I need to explain what differences she has in her attack. Okay, I promise I will like some of these sunflowers, we just haven't gotten to the good ones yet. Sadly, this is gonna be another D tier for me. Thank God, you showed up just in time, Shadow Flower. She's the most eye-catching of the group, and that little villain mask she has on is just perfect. This flower robs banks, and I am here for it. The black and blue color scheme is just good, I don't know what else to tell you. She's known for her faster firing ability but slower reload time as compensation. I think for most people this probably ends up evening out like the other sunflowers we've had, but not me. I love playing as her and I think she looks awesome. S tier. I don't sleep on Metal Petal either. There's a lot of characters in the game known as armored variants, so it's nice for a Sunflower to have one of her own. I always prefer a tankier character, someone willing to take more damage, so of course I like this Sunflower. Sure, she's slow, but I'm a support, what do I care? Its metal face is pretty fun too, I kinda wish her whole body was made of metal. I think she got too dark of a gray in the second game, I love the first game's look so much more. I've heard a lot of people say they don't really like Metal Petal, so I might be in the minority, who knows? I'm gonna throw her an A tier still. The Sun Pharaoh is a very fun idea, I love what they've done for her petals. She's a harder sunflower to play than most thanks to her Cobra laser shooting in 3-round bursts. You'll deal more damage but have a greater chance of missing your shots. This is another case where I bet good players are really good with Pharaoh, but I'm not a good player. Sorry, the C tier. And our last plant that debuted in the first game is the insane Alien Flower. There really aren't any variants in the game that are as fun as this. Even her leaves and body have different details, something the other sunflowers have really never changed. But the face is what seals the deal. On design alone, I'm ready to give this one S tier. As for abilities, she acts as a poison variant, with her Spore Mist dealing damage to zombies within radius. It seems like there's a major split on this character. Some people love it and others hate it, and hardly an in-between. I definitely don't like her semi-automatic firing style, yet I find myself enjoying her playstyle, so add on her amazing design and I've gotta give her S tier. Let's just say the internet is a little obsessed with the Vampire Flower. Never give us a goth character if you don't want endless questionable fan art. I'm sure PopCap saw it coming. They even gave her a little skirt, like, come on! And you guys know me, I'm typically all about this sort of thing, especially goth mommies, oh lord! But I really can't say I've ever been attracted to the Garden Warfare Sunflower. I think she's got a fun design, but really nothing more. I know it's crazy, I'm the reserved one for once. Anyways, I've never played this character, but as most vampire characters do, she regains health by dealing damage. As a sunflower class, health is what she's all about, so I think it's pretty genius. She has a very small amount of HP to begin with though. I don't think I'd be good as her at all. She's very high on a lot of tier lists though, so I'm happy to give her the A tier. And finally, for all you plushie fans out there, we have the Stuffy Flower. A very cute design this time. She has a lot of wholesome fan art. Her and Vampire Flower are like two sides of a very deranged coin. For this variant, killing zombies creates healing sun drops. This seems like another character that would be really helpful for waves of spawnable zombies. As a support class, most of the Sunflower variants didn't change their healing abilities much, if at all. So this really seems like the best word character we've seen so far. I think this would be my Sunflower choice in the second game. I'm gonna give her S tier. I'm very curious what y'all think of my takes on the characters in this game. I tried to be more in depth this time than I was with the Peashooter. Let me know. As mentioned earlier, one of the Sunflower's basic abilities is to place the Heal Flower, who is kind of a brand new sunflower. It's clearly not a sunflower, it really looks closer to a marigold. It's a pretty basic potted plant though, just dropping sun that heals players near it. Very helpful! It's a great spawnable plant, but as a sunflower on our list, I'm thinking C tier. The twin sunflower is pretty hidden, I almost missed it while researching. It only appeared in boss mode on the most recent version of the first game, something I don't freaking have. It's weird because the 2D graphic they used features the twin sunflower, but the design is clearly still based on the marigold. It's the closest we'll ever get to a twin marigold, honestly. It drops double the sun, of course, we all get it by now, I'm sure. B tier. The Heal Flower received a few alternate forms too. The Dark Flower actually attacks enemies, which is crazy. Using it as an ability for the sunflower is awesome. You can just have a little buddy to help attack at any time. I think it's really fun. A tier. And finally, after all this time, finally a rainbow sunflower is real! Just what crazy ability could a plant like this have? Well, it drops one sun at a time rather than multiple! Wait, it only drops one sun at a time rather than multiple? It is a faster drop rate, but still, what a boring ability for a freaking rainbow flower! Just disappointing. D tier. One huge thing I missed on the Peashooter list was the Garden Warfare 2 bobbleheads used to promote your characters. I generally couldn't find images of them online until I realized they were bobbleheads. I thought these things were alive, but they're all insanely cute. Just look at the little guys. Since they're all potted plant versions of characters we've already ranked, I'm just gonna rapid fire them quick. Normal one, boring, D tier. Mystic looks bad, F tier. Power Flower pales in comparison, sitting right next to the godly Shadow Flower. She is missing her iconic mask though. D for you and A for you. Fire Flower looks terrible, F tier. Metal Petal is really cute and I liked it, A tier. Pharaoh is nearly as good, B tier. I will never get over the alien, gotta be S tier. This is clearly the cutest Vamp Flower has ever been, S tier. And Stuffy's button eye is so perfect for this, A tier. Guys, we are not close to being done with the shooter games. Not close. But I can't even be mad I have to rank the one and only Mega Flower. She uses a lighthouse as her throne, which is incredible. The idea of any of her classic plants growing massive is just cool. I love a squash or chomper to receive the same treatment. As the final checkpoint of Driftwood Shore, you can either kill her as the zombies or get her to wink at you as the plants. I am a little sad it is straight up a regular sunflower model scaled up, but the fact that it is the guardian of this lighthouse is just too cool. As one of the biggest plants in PvZ history, I feel like it's my duty to put her in S tier. I always do this. My S tier gets filled immediately, and then we get the literal sunflower queen and I'm not supposed to put it at the top? It is so cool that they give this thing a unique design with glowing leaves and spiky petals. I do think it's very cool, but I'm going to put it in B because the Royal Hypno-Flower is better in every conceivable way. I never knew I needed the Hypno-Shroom's color scheme and crazy swirling eyes placed on a giant sunflower boss. Seriously, how is this so cool? Why is this not a plant in every game? Imagine a smaller version in PvZ 2. Imagine a Heroes card with her in a 2D style. I need more of this plant in my life. Easily one of the best on our list so far. S tier. Well, look who it is. Even the Marigold got a Garden Warfare appearance. She is basically unrecognizable though. They took the gold aspect of her character and turned it up to 11. With diamonds for petals and a treasure chest for a base, she's become more money than plant at this point. She is a boss but doesn't really attack, and instead tries to run away at all costs. Of course, you get some money for beating her. I do find her a little creepy to be honest, but it is a fun take on this often forgotten character. B tier. And now we finally move from Garden Warfare to Battle for Neighborville. Wait, don't leave, please don't leave. I'm joking, it won't take too long, so let's just get through it. I really can't figure out why she looks worse here. It might just be that she's way too saturated in this design. Oh well, I won't dwell on that as again I have not played this game. But judging on other people's takes on the Sunflower, she's seemingly one of the best characters in the game. She works nearly identical as before, only losing the heal flower ability and just dropping piles of sun on her own. But apparently if there are 2 sunflowers healing a player, you have a nearly unstoppable defense. She's an essential part of your team in this game. I guess I'll begrudgingly place her in A tier then. The Sunflower Queen and Royal Hypno-Flower also appeared in Battle for Neighborville, but their changes are so I couldn't possibly have different opinions on them. You know who else made their return? My mom! No, not your mom! The Marigold, who is also identical, so my opinions have not changed. Sunflower has a surprising amount of NPC enemies in this game, each wearing a different costume and a fitting name to go with it. First up is our battle leader, Pollen, a monarch butterfly skin enemy. C tier. The Solar Sisters are a group of 3 sunflowers in astronaut costumes. C tier. And lastly, we have the elusive foe, Kitty Sparkles, a pink sunflower with a pretty kitty bow on top. Still but definitely the most eye-catching of the group. B tier. Our last Battle for Neighborville character is Major Sweetie, a character who seemingly has a lot of fans. A cold eye patch wearing war general who is also a sunflower is pretty amusing, I can't lie. She lost a bit of charm when they put a flamingo floaty on her head, but still. The outfit is fun, she seems like one of the better NPCs. I'll say A. And that means we made it to the moment you've all been waiting for, I'm sure. Someone on the PvZ wiki said she has, and I quote, raw lesbian girl boss queen energy. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up, huh? I really have no idea who started the internet's fascination with Solar Flare. She's the most innocent, friendly, and harmless looking hero in the game. My best guess is the artist Paris take on her character design is what fanned the flames, right? Her more human looking tomboy persona seems to make more sense for what she'd soon become than this. If you're curious to hear where this all started, I recommend reading through this Reddit post comments. Not because it's informative or anything, because it's really funny. Anyways, hot damn, she's so hot, zooey mama! I feel like I'm legally obligated to say that. It's really impossible to talk about Solar Flare without mentioning what the internet has made of her. But let's leave it at that, alright? As the Sunflower Plant hero, her main ability lets you deal a little damage and get 1 extra sun per turn, which can be super helpful. It's not a powerful attack, but I wouldn't really expect that from a Sunflower anyways. It is cool to see her go flame on in her animation though. So far, the playstyles I like best revolve around the mushroom cards, which Solar Flare has the ability to use. I wouldn't say she's my favorite hero though either. I'm still working on a PvZ Heroes tier list, but I know it's going to be very hard because none of them are really bad per se. It's really more about your cards and your opponent. I don't think she's going to be top tier on that list, unfortunately. But on our list of Sunflower, she's a clear fan favorite, and I don't even want to imagine what the internet would do to me if I didn't place her in S tier. Now we can get to our cards, another thing that is a bit hard to rank. Take the normal Sunflower for example. On its own, there's no attack. The only benefit you receive is an extra sun each turn as long as you keep her alive. It does have team up thankfully, so you can stick behind another plant for protection. I do like how she looks in this art style, but definitely nothing special as a card. D tier. Double every stat of the regular Sunflower and you've got yourself a twin. I think if it had a little more health points it would be great, but as it is, I honestly can't put it higher than C. Meanwhile, Primal Sunflower is killing it as usual. Known as one of the best starter solar cards, the Primal Sunflower can deal 2 damage and earn you an extra sun each round. The 1 health definitely sucks, she's very easy to kill, but what else can you expect from such a cheap plant? If she had team up, she'd be top tier for sure. She's still pretty great, I'm putting her in A. I would have absolutely missed the Power Flower's return in Heroes, considering she looks completely different here than Adventures and Garden Warfare. It is always a complete gamble on what design the Power Flower will have. What a strange character. For 5 stun, you get 5 health and 3 damage with Strike Through, which is always a great bonus. If she survives the round, she heals you for every flower on stage, meaning you can make a team out of your sunflowers if you really want to. I always love the ability to heal, and I feel like this plant has a lot of potential synergies with your solar plants. I think it's decent, but definitely not the best for a 5 sun plant. A tier as well. We got another Garden Warfare plant making a comeback, the Metal Petal of all characters. If you thought she was tanky before, you haven't seen her like this. A nice 3 damage and 4 health, gaining extra stun each round it survives. I'm seeing a bit of a trend with the sunflowers, huh? It's just a Primal Sunflower with bigger numbers, dude. This is a good flower to team up with the Power Flower, I suppose. Keeping both alive will help you each round, but I don't know. I really don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you. Let's say C. I thought the Cosmic Pea was fun, but now it's getting kinda old, don't you think? And why does it look like they stretched out her drawing to make her taller? It looks really bad. Still, she gets to conjure any flower and give them Strike Through, so it's up to the Sunflower gods whether you get something really good or really bad. It's nice that it also has Strike Through, but with all the Cosmic cards, they are very weak. They're not meant to be the good one, they're supposed to conjure something good. And for 3 sun, back to D it is. And lastly, a real stretch of an inclusion, the Sunflower Seed. It does make a brand new sunflower when it's destroyed, so I guess it has to be a type of sunflower, right? It's like a sunflower fetus, think of it that way. It's really not an amazing plant on its own. The only nice part is when it gets destroyed, almost guaranteeing you to earn an extra sun on that round. Of course, a zombie with frenzy or something can easily take that away from you, but otherwise it's an alright bonus. From what I can tell, sunflower plants in PvZ Heroes are just nothing special. Very sad, but oh well. Let's give Sunflower Seed a C tier. I did a bad job ranking the PvZ cards last time, so let me know if I did any better here. I'm guessing no, but any feedback would be great. I'm still attempting to learn the game as best I can, so I appreciate it. Final stretch, people. Here are the sunflowers from the most recent games in the series. PvZ Match always snakes its way into our tier list, doesn't it? I kinda assumed it would have the same sunflower as PvZ 3, but nope. It was the horrifying sunflower render we get to rank, apparently named Sunny. Maybe some of you out there find this cute or endearing, but one of you out there agrees with me, right? She looks scary! Thankfully, in the newest version of the game, she straight up got replaced, so we dodged a real bullet there. Still F tier, of course. The original PvZ 3 was infamous for not featuring the sunflower, but it also kinda still included her. She just sat at the bottom of your screen and watched the sun counter go up for you. It's so cool to have a sunflower in your UI and none be playable. That means Twin Sunflower was left out, Marigold might as well never existed at this point, and Primal Sunflower has definitely gone extinct. To be fair, compared to the other plants' designs in this game, she definitely turned out the best, but I cannot excuse her absence from the game. I'm taking a stand by giving her an F tier. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, and the game I've not played in months, welcome to Zomburbia. Did you guys hear they're gonna add pick your plants to the game? That might be extremely outdated news by the time this releases. Anyway, Sunflower is thankfully back and playable once again. None of our plants have returned so far, but at least the Sunstream gives me a little hope. Does anyone else find her design a bit off-putting in this game too? I'm one of the few people that actually like this art style, but not Sunflower. I think it's mostly the eyes, especially when they put the white dots in the middle. Makes her look like a scarecrow or something. Anyway, Sunflower is pretty much in every level of the game, only being replaced by a Sunstream on occasion. She's very important, and I suppose that means we must give her a C tier at least. And of course, we got Baby Sunflower too. They have just one little petal in her head, and in some art, she got one big old tooth. I still like the Baby Peashooter more, but alright. I won't make you go in F, you can go in D tier, I guess. I was once again left questioning how to end this list of sunflowers. It certainly had its highs and lows, although I'm pretty impressed how evenly spread these middle tiers ended up. But there's not going to be a Sunbob Square flower, is there? I suppose a Sandy flower would be more fitting. But for some strange reason, people really wanted and expected me to rank a real-life sunflower. I'm not joking, I've seen so many comments asking for this, I felt obligated to do so. And so, here is a real, stinkin' sunflower. Is that it? Where's its cute eyes and big smile? Why isn't little pieces of sun falling out for me to collect? Why am I not sexually attracted to this flower? Once you've seen how awesome the Plants vs. Zombies Sunflower can be, how could you ever go back to the real deal? Touch grass? I think I'll pass. Wake me up when this thing can sing, am I right? Sorry guys, it could just never compare. Let's give our list one last F tier. Oh yeah, and real life Marigold too, I guess. At times, it seems like Sunflower is one of the most straightforward, uninteresting plants in the Plants vs. Zombies series. She's a simple character and maybe nothing more. Yet, Sunflower is almost always one of the most important characters in every game. She might be the first plant you unlock, she may be the only way to produce sun, she may even be the primary healer on your team. The Plants vs. Zombies games could not go on without the Sunflower, and that's pretty cool. They very rarely tried to change up the way she works. With so few variants in each game, we went through most as if there were nothing. But why waste your time making new versions of something that's already perfect, am I right? I still feel that Garden Warfare and, to an extent, Heroes did the best job at making Sunflower stand out more than in her typical appearances. Because even though she is crucial to your lineup, she's easily taken for granted. Like the Marigold, she could be quickly forgotten. But the second they took her away in PvZ 3, the fans and PopCap quickly learned that Plants vs. Zombies is a fundamentally different experience without the Sunflower. I don't think there are many plants in the game you could say that for. What a cool, special character, and I'm glad to have gotten to see every version of her today. Well, hopefully every version. I felt pretty dang thorough this time around. I'd be pretty surprised to see I omitted any major instances of the Sunflower. If you know of any, definitely let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to add them to our list. I'd like to try ranking every version of an Angry Birds character next, I think, but after that, I really want to rank every mushroom ever as a trilogy to the series. I know there's going to be a lot, but it sounds really fun and mushrooms are my favorite group of plants. In the meantime, let me know if there are any other plants you'd want to see get the same treatment. If you like this video, make sure to actually like the video. I could use all the help I could get. Thank you to my members, who all get the chance to become a Sunflower today. Since Solar Flare is overly sexualized, I think it's best to give her to no one. But still, if you want to get a mushroom sewn in that future video, then make sure to become a member of the channel today. Thank you Leland, Patrick Bayerjan, Brightstreak, MD Switchy, Dojo Master, Lavatane, Jasper TV, Keep, Omegon, Galguy, Jep the Legend, Cheaper Ying, Gotham, Marie, Callum Ford, OK, Syra was taken, Pika Girl for You, Chris Out Creations, Cameron, Perskule Banana, Bo Vanderland, Mora Mora, Checky, Green Man Yeah, Mr. Odell, Stuff Happens Sometimes, Peacock, Eric GD, Miku, Timur Kurganov, and let's give a big round of applause to Tarky Rocky, who clearly has made 3 accounts all in the I Love You Jake Miller tier to give me 3 times the membership. Thank you so much, you are the best. It's not fair that sunflowers are real but pea shooters aren't. Would it be so hard to make a plant that shoots peas at your will? Fine, if I can't have a real life pea shooter, then I'll just buy the next best thing, a gun!
Da da doo dee doo dee doo dee. Doopy 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 doopy. La 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 la. There's a zombie on your lawn.
Okay, it loaded now.